Hi, welcome to a review of educational design, the Ensure Model and the ADDIE Approach by Group 3 EDTC 6320. This presentation will involve a brief overview of the Assure Model and an example of its implementation, the ADDIE Approach and an example of its implementation, compare the two models, and a brief conclusion. Introduction. A brief definition by Robert Reisner of instructional design and technology is that you first analyze a performance problem. You design an instructional or non-instructional event. You implement this event, you evaluate it, and the whole purpose of it is to improve learning and performance. The Assure model. A simple model that analyzes the learner, states the standards and learning objectives, selects appropriate instructional strategies, utilizes these resources, requires learners to be involved, and then there's an evaluation. Implementation example. Analyze your learners. List their demographics. State objectives. What will the student be able to do? Select the correct media. Utilize this media in the best possible way. Require learner participation, and then evaluate. The ADDIE approach, a little more in depth. You will analyze performance gaps and strategies. You will design specific tasks. You will develop, generate content. You will implement, and then you will evaluate the product and whether the product does what it's supposed to. A brief example is analyze, see if there's a performance gap, choose your audience, and choose the strategies. Write specific goals and performance objectives and tasks. Develop instructional strategies and media. Implement this in the correct way, in the correct place, and then evaluate this. Take your time to evaluate it by referring to an expert or a one-on-one interview, or with a small group. Do all your revisions and before you fully implement. A comparison of the two, they're basically the same, but the Assure is much simpler, more direct, whereas the ADDIE focus, there's a lot more on deciding if there is a performance gap. The specific task, it's much more involved than the Assure focus. Conclusion, if you want a quicker approach to a problem to solve, for instance in the classroom, you might use the Assure model. But if you want a more in-depth approach for a business or a company, something that's going to have longevity, you might want to use the ADDIE approach. Thank you.